Alrighty, well, welcome to Chapter 1 of the Physician Pharmacist course on how to get into medical school. In this chapter, we're going to be laying the groundwork and covering some foundational principles that I think will really help set the tone for the entire course in and of itself. These are like important considerations that you need to sit down and think about prior to even kind of taking the first steps of medical school. I guess the medical school application process. In these first in this first chapter, I should say, we're going to be covering some definitions, like I mentioned. We're going to talk a little bit about medical school statistics. So, would you even make the cut? This course isn't going to be for everyone in the sense that some people with higher GPAs are going to have an easier time versus people with lower GPAs are going to struggle a lot more. So we'll cover some of those important details because you may not be in a good position to even consider applying to medical school if you're sitting at a 2.9 GPA or something along those lines. It's not to say that you shouldn't apply, but we're going to have to really dive deep into really padding the rest of your application to make up for that. So we'll cover some more information about medical school statistics. We'll talk a little bit about the medical school application process in the sense of how expensive it is, because it is certainly an expensive endeavor. So we'll talk about ways you can save on that, but initially we'll just kind of show you where all of those expenses go in the first place. Mitigating some of those expenses, I think, can be established by selecting a medical specialty that has a high-paying outcome, and we'll cover some of the logistics of that. You're also going to cover the first steps of starting this whole process, and that requires creating an AAMC account, and we'll talk through that. I recommend you contact your university pre-health office to help establish some connection with the professionals at your university. If you're a graduate pharmacist, that might not be an option, so you can kind of disregard that option there. I really want to hammer home the fact that the MCAT is no joke, and we'll cover the details involved with that. And then lastly, to kind of address the significance of your PharmD as being your most prized possession. It's what makes you unique when it comes to the application process. So out of all of these things that I've listed here, creating your AAMC account is technically the only thing that is required. But I think that you would be bereft if you left some of this material and skipped over it, because there's a lot of foundational principles that I think need to be addressed and explored. So that is it for this video, and we'll dive into each one with each subsequent video.